wait. This one's actually from Smugalana Simp's suggestion, so I'm keen to see what this one. And this one is about oh geez, let me find it. There we go. Total War Warhammer 3. Is it worth it? Should you play it? And well, I haven't played it, so maybe this video can convince me to give it a try. Maybe. We'll have to see. Okay, let me first make sure that this is not in ×2 speed, so you guys don't get an aneurysm or a stroke listening to this thing. It's only 10 minutes long, but maybe it forms a solid argument. We'll have to see.
In this
also, let me know how the audio is. I own it and never tried it. I own many games that I've never tried.
Total War Warhammer 3 video, I'm going to talk about the game's mechanics and features to help you decide if this gargantuan RTS is what you've been looking for. Regardless of whether or not you're new to the genre, learning the ropes won't be as daunting as in the previous iterations of the series, since there's a dedicated prologue campaign to guide players accordingly, and we'll also have a beginner's guide here on YouTube if you need further help. So if you're interested in diving into the nuances of Total War Warhammer 3 and you want to know more about its trial period and future offers, then this video is for you.
Oh, I thought he had his head stuck in the animal's
Before we
butt.
get into it though, first a big shout out to Sega for sponsoring this video. If you guys are planning to pick up...
Wait, Sega sponsored this? That's pretty pog.
Total Warhammer 3 and any of its DLC content, be sure to use the link below to help support the channel. Total Warhammer 3's main campaign is set in the realm of chaos. Here, the bear god Urson was imprisoned by the demon prince Be'lakor to steal his power. With the help of an advisor, your goal is to get to Urson before he becomes a distant memory of the past. Can you defeat traitors and control your empire until you reach the bear god? What makes players spend hundreds of hours playing?
Are these literally just freaking triangles that are being flung?
This title is the amount of content and distinct gameplay features every faction brings to the table. For instance, choosing the Grand Cathay race will have you restore harmony by balancing yin and yang, whether you're researching new technologies or upgrading buildings.
It spells? Well, yeah, but the triangles made it look kind of goofy. It looked like they were throwing handkerchiefs. Not pog, it means review is biased, paid, caught. He brings up a very good point.
Comparatively, if you were to select Khorne, the goal will be to bathe in the square.
If you had to select what? Did he say... Did he say corn?
Goals of your enemies by constant... Comparatively, if you were to select Khorne, the goal...
Oh, corn! Okay. I heard something else.
will be to bathe in the skulls of your enemies by constantly engaging in wars to effectively improve your army. Total War Warhammer 3 is a free-for-all type of game which provides you with the necessary tools to make tough decisions.
9 Gunnar allegations! Oh jeez, I totally had a stroke trying to say allegations. 9 allegations.
And fully immerse yourself into the world of Warhammer. Combat-wise, you'll be declaring wars and raiding structures to dominate and grow your empire. Rather than a hex-based grid, you'll be commanding multiple armies with the help of lords and heroes. These armies can then be grouped accordingly based on the strategies you wish to execute. Additionally, instead of using action points, large-scale battles are executed in real time, so you can pause, play, and hit fast forward if you find...
What the heck is an action point? You mean like the things from the scanning system from Fallout? What do they mean by action points? What does that mean?
And the default pace is too slow. In Total War Warhammer 3, there are 3 campaign modes to choose from. You have the Lost God, the Realm of Chaos, and Immortal Empires.
That's a campaign mode?
As mentioned previously, the Lost God is specifically created for players who are either new to the Total Warhammer universe, or for those who need a refresher. The entire tutorial takes about 3 to 5 hours to finish, and is a great stepping...
5 hours of tutorial? That's insane! The longest tutorial I've played has been like 5-10 minutes?
...stone into Warhammer 3, since the basics of every functionality are explained in detail.
Okay, if it's explaining something very complex and in detail, okay, maybe I can let it slide this one time.
This mode also serves as a decent prologue to the main story. However, in the Lost God, you won't be able to choose another race, and instead you'll be part of the Kislev expedition. Jumping to the story-driven base game, or the Realm of Chaos, you can now pick from any of the 9 factions, including the Demons of Chaos,
worth mentioning that in order to access the content, you need to own the previous 2 games with all of their DLC as well. What? Oy vey! How much does that cost? Like $100 worth of purchases?
Consists of backstories and mechanics, which are distinct from one another, making...
Is that Santa Claus? With a giant chicken wing? Oh, what?
For an enriching experience every time. And finally, there's the Immortal Empires campaign.
More than 100
This is the biggest sandbox campaign.
I know we're not even 3 minutes in, boys. You tell me I have to pay over $100 just to play the full game? It's not happening, boys. It's not happening.
Campaign mode to date, having been released last August. When you select it, you'll see a vast array of 23 races if you happen to own all of the
Boxes?
DLCs.
Oh, hey, Doontime.
But if you
What's
only
up,
have
man? How you
Warhammer
doing?
3, then you'll still be able to jump
Closer to $5. You have to pay $500 just to play this full game? So I have to buy the base game, I have to buy the DLCs, I have to buy this game as DLCs? That's way too much. No, I'm sorry. I'm not paying $500 just to finish a damn game. There's always the 7 Cs. I mean, but still, like, wouldn't you need to purchase the games in order to play the PvP mode? Or does this one have private third-party servers? Classic, base game, 100, 400 worth of DLC? Sounds like a lot of games nowadays. Unfortunately, it's very true. But like 500 is just, that's astronomical. That's like EA levels of microtransactions right there. I think the most I ever paid for a DLC, or just any sort of expansion, was like, I don't know, a couple of bucks? Not even $10? What is this, a Paradox game? Possibly. My thoughts exactly, yeah. The one that I did buy was Red Alert 3 Uprising. That was the only expansion or DLC or any sort of extra content that I ever bought for any game. Okay. You've bought nearly all of them? Have robbed me over the years. Oh no. Oof. I can already hear the Command & Conquer announcer being like, insufficient funds.
jump into the Immortal Empires campaign to experience the game.
But the real question is, was it worth it? Was the $500 worth it? Because from what the sounds of it, there's a lot of content here. So was it worth it?
Differently, where you'll encounter other land masses and units. If you're interested in playing the factions not included in the base game, then these
$3.50, $15? I mean, the game is good. It doesn't need it. Good doesn't cut it for $500, boys. $12, $10? What?
can be bought separately via DLCs. For instance, if the Vampire Coast sounds appealing, then you're going to have to purchase Warhammer 2's Curse of the Vampire DLC, not Warhammer 2 itself. Another recent Total Warhammer 3 DLC is the Champions of Chaos, which lets you choose 4 new lords from the Warriors of Chaos race. There's Valkia the Bloody representing Khorne, so she thrives on bloodletting or the almost endless slaughter of hapless victims to gain the blessings of the Blood God. And then you have Festus, the Leech Lord.
So wait, so is this the game where the quote comes from, Blood for the Blood God? Is it actually from Warhammer 3? Because I've heard so many people quote Blood for the Blood God, but I don't actually know which franchise or which, game or movie it's from. EU4 is my most played game ever, so I think the 550 plus I spent on it was worth all the DLC. You played it over 8 years? Okay, well then at least you got your money's worth, right? I mean, 8 years of content's pretty good. From Warhammer in general? Oh, okay. So it's just the Warhammer as a whole where it comes from. So if you play this game for 8 years, it'll be worth 500, no worries. Okay. I mean, normally when I play a game, I'm just going to play for like 20 hours, finish the main campaign, and that's it. But if you're playing it over 5 years, or 8 years, I think you said, then maybe you could make an argument that maybe it's worth it. 7 years not worth, 8 years sure, Kappa. How's your wallet doing after that?
Lord, a doctor who has pledged his allegiance with one of the most infamous chaos gods, Nurgle himself.
So
Together with his units, you'll primarily poison foes and spread corruption. Total War Warhammer 3 features large-scale battles that can take about 30 minutes to finish depending on the difficulty the army.
That's not so bad. Like 30 minutes ain't so bad. I mean, some Kane's Wrath games can go over 30 minutes if you're playing with 2 Marked of Kane players.
You've raised and strategies that you utilize. The game features some of the most engaging combat encounters because of its depth and complexity coupled with the tactics you need to execute to wipe out your enemies without mercy.
When did you even last play Kane's Wrath? Yesterday. It was Bicroshone's birthday, so we played a couple of games of Kane's Wrath. Other than that, I played Master League once, but outside of those 2 incidents, I haven't played in like 2 months, give or take. That's been a while.
You basically have total control.
I was even surprised I took some W's there, unironically. He doesn't stream it because we don't watch it, lol. I've stopped playing the game, not just that. Like, even off stream, I just haven't played it.
Over how you wish to lead your troops into victory. Right from the start, you'll be grouping units.
I can't believe that Master Leaf and I arranged games for a certain day. We're like, okay, you want to play today? In the afternoon? Okay, sure. Afternoon comes, completely ghosts me. That evening, he decides to play Dutch Army of all people. And I'm like, bro, where's the games? You're off playing some noob whose cheeks I clapped in the Chrono Clash, and you completely dodged the guy who you arranged games with? Hello? What? I was offended.
Together so they move at a similar pace, identifying their initial and optimal positions, and seeking out terrains where you'll gain an advantage. For instance,
Wait, how long do you have to arrange your army like that? Is it indefinite and then you move to the next segment of the game where then the armies then clash? Or do you have like a limited amount of time to sort out your army's arrangement?
Can hide in the forest to momentarily conceal themselves and then attack the enemy from behind.
Okay, interesting.
This maneuver is also going to be very useful for...
I assume that these little lines here, they're for the line of sight for your army, and I assume in most cases it's like 120 degrees.
Flanking in order to catch them unaware. Moreover, you'll be recruiting different unit types due to their strength they possess. For example, cavalry moves faster to engage enemies right away, even those hidden in specific terrains, but they're weak against spearmen who excel in charging at larger targets.
Okay, that does kind of make sense, historically speaking as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
With the help of the unit details panel, you'll quickly see their strengths, weaknesses, and stats to make necessary choices, especially when the encounter becomes more challenging. But you need to be careful. If your units become too exhausted to fight, they can flee from combat, thereby decreasing your chances of winning.
You flee from combat? I'm sorry. Deserters shall be put to the sword.
Since Total War Warhammer 3 is an RTS, you can pause the battle to regroup while still issuing orders. These will then be executed the moment you hit the play button.
I'm sorry, but if it's a RTS button, if it's an RTS game, you got a pause button? It ain't RTS, bros. It ain't RTS.
Additionally, you can refer to the bar located next to the timer to give you an indication of the tide of combat, whether you're on your way to victory or not. Next, you must be cautious when it comes to enhancing the abilities and spells of your lords and heroes because these greatly impact how well they perform in combat.
Oh,
in the Lost.
I don't know if it's just me, but I really do not like the hero mechanic of RTS games. That's a hot take. I just don't like it. The only one that comes to mind where I first discovered the whole hero mechanic thing was, I think, in Warcraft 3. I think that was the first game I played when I got introduced to the idea or the concept of hero units that you have to constantly micromanage and give upgrades to and this and that and yada, what a fish cake. I just found it so tiresome and cumbersome. I just didn't like the mechanic. I like it in Command & Conquer Generals and Age of Mythology. Does Command & Conquer Generals have a hero unit that you can use? Well, I've never played Generals myself. Okay, I've just played the Tiberium series, and I've played the what do you call it? The Red Alert series. I haven't actually played Generals. Maybe I should, because apparently with the source code they're able to uncap the FPS from 30, and there's now no lag, there's now no crashes or any sort of that. So maybe now is a good time for me to try out Generals. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sweet. I haven't played Generals. Do they have like hero units? Because I know in Red Alert 3 and in Command & Conquer, the Tiberium series, you have what's called Commandos, which is basically a high-tier infantry unit that has usually one or two abilities. As Commandos, well, yes, but there's a lot less, well, I suppose, mental resources you have to apply to those, if that makes sense. It's basically just a infantry unit that is very good at killing other infantry, that has a melee proximity ability to destroy buildings. In most cases. I like it. Okay, wait. I'm clueless about RTS, only play StarCraft 2 campaign, never finish it, and Planetary Annihilation. Okay, I haven't played either of those. Maybe I should. Americans had the dude with the galling gun plus C4 GLA. Middle Eastern Guerrillas has a Jarman Kell who can snap out vehicles and drivers. Ooh, sweet. Chinese had a chick who was a super hacker, I forgot her name. Okay, I think I should probably clarify that I think there is a big difference between hero units and the Command & Conquer commandos. Probably Wing Wong Ching Chang. What the hell? So like hero units in other RTS games, usually they have a lot more micromanaging that goes on with them. Like you have to manage specific items for them, you have to manage specific spells and abilities. I also own Command & Conquer Remastered Collection, so give it a try. 100%, man, 100%. It is mechanically very simple, but I still think that they were pretty banger games at the time they came out. Cho Chang like Harry Potter, yep. Yep. So, anyways, as I was saying, so the mechanical just bloat and complexity when it comes to hero units, I think is just a little bit too much. Whereas in the Command & Conquer series, they're very simple and easy to use. Like, you just issue attack moves, that's it. You don't have to micromanage any sort of upgrades on them. You don't have to micromanage any sort of items you need for them. You don't have to order them to do specific things like pick up items, etc., etc. Maybe this is just a smooth brain take. It's fundamental to Warhammer, the historical games don't have it. I'm trying to think of any historical games that had it. I didn't Age of Empires have something similar, but I think it didn't have as much complexity. I'm pretty sure I fought with Wilhelm in one campaign, but I don't think there was anything special about him. I think at most they get like veteran ranks, like regular units. Yeah. Haven't played generals in years, wheeze. Now might be the best time to get back into generals, boys. The FPS has now been, popped wide open. You can now play the game in a much higher frame rate. I assume with the source code they can now basically balance and fix the entire game. Age of Empires had heroes, but yeah, no special upgrades for them. Yeah, exactly. And I think there was a lot less micromanaging you had to do with your hero units as well. It's open source now, Pog. Yep. You know what we should do? We should upgrade the engine that the source code gives us access to. And then we should import all of the Kane's Wrath assets, and then we can make Kane's Wrath 2, boys. Hell yeah, it's coming.
Lost God, you can activate Yuri's Urson Roar to inspire melee allies through his leadership, thereby increasing the power of respective attacks. Note that once you invest points into certain abilities and you
see this? Complexity bloat, unlike this.
Exit the skills menu, you won't be able to reverse these changes, so pay attention to what you're doing. In some cases, you can auto-resolve battles, especially if the battle result says that your victory is imminent, thereby allowing you to save time. Although when choosing this option, you don't have control over the number of units you may potentially lose, since the predicted number of casualties isn't precise.
I mean, there is a mode called Global Conquest that Kane's Wrath has, which is very similar to the Warhammer RTS that I played recently. It's very similar to that one's campaign mode. So even though that's not the main campaign of Kane's Wrath, it has that entire game mode just slapped in there, just for funsies. And you can use auto-resolves for battles similar to this. Usually it's a little bit broken because there are just certain units that you could just use that just basically guarantee your win. Like certain strong air units, you just steamroll no matter what. You could just auto-resolve everything.
This feature is also applicable if you intend to siege settlements to fight for control over them.
Like, if you can make something like that, multiplayer, I think it would have been so amazing for the game. But sadly, we'll never get a hold of the source code to be able to make it done. Really, Bar is the best RTS caught? We'll have to see about that, boys. One day, I am going to get a PC upgrade, and I'm going to try Bar. I think I looked at the specs that didn't quite meet the requirements to play it, at least on stream. But when I do get the chance to play it, I will see. I know that Bart Jones is one of the guys from my Discord. He's a Kane's Wrath player. He said that he very much enjoyed Bar, and he plays it quite often. And from the gameplay and the visual effects that I've seen on YouTube, it seems to be pretty decent. But then again, I also thought Temu Rising was going to be good. And despite all the hype, it was just garbage. So I'm not going to have too much hope. I'm not going to be a doomsayer. I'm just going to wait until I try it. Approach it with an open mind, if you will, and then see how it runs. And see how it plays.
But the difference with siege encounters is you need to first avail special equipment to then raid the structure and its units over time. Once they've been weakened, you can then engage in battle.
What the hell is Modu War? I've never heard of that before.
either through auto-resolve or manually fighting on the field.
Bar Team actually is what
In
the game
addition
they're
to the
working on
immersive
called.
combat experience, Total War Warhammer 3...
I mean, you can have a very passionate team that does not translate into a good game. But it makes, in most cases, a good game a great game, if you've got a really passionate team that cares about the game. It is a good sign, though. It's a good indicator of a good game. I'll give you that. But still, I will not count my eggs until the chickens lay eggs. What? Until the eggs hatch. There, that's saying do that. The RTS I sent you in the stream suggestions. Yeah, I had a stroke. Sorry, guys. Until they hatch, yes, that. I'm not gonna count the chickens until they hatch. I actually do not remember Modu War. I honestly don't. I will have to go check the stream suggestions and watch the suggestion again, and then I'll have to let you know my thoughts.
3 equally delivers when it comes to settlement management. This includes recruiting units, lords, and heroes together with upgrading buildings to boost defenses against invaders and to increase the types of soldiers that become available to you. You will also need to invest your research points into certain technologies. Doing so will improve your recruitment rank, leadership, and capabilities of units in battle. In some cases, though, waging war isn't always the ideal option, especially since a lot of your resources, money, and units will quickly be depleted. As such, you'll need to form diplomatic relationships with other factions. You or they can offer a peace treaty, agree on a non-aggressive pact, and even form a military alliance to request support in the event of war. Not only can you...
Okay, I also found out I own Riddler 2, Theory's Revenge, based. Sadly, I don't actually own them. The only legal game that I own out of the Command & Conquer series is Riddler 3. And that's because my friend bought it for me so we could play online together. That is actually it. Wait, and the Remaster Collection. Okay, I have those. One day I will buy Riddler 2 and Yuri's Revenge. That, I believe that is currently possibly the most popular Command & Conquer game, and there's thousands of players that are active on there. They only own one game legally, Underworld Fox. God. Oh no. Okay, the better word is I have only ever bought one game legally. The rest have either been kindly donated to me or they were found in a treasure chest on the high seas. And even the one that I legally bought, someone else bought for me. Just saying. The rest were gifts and others, yes. The only time that my Steam account ever bought a game was for Riddler 3, and it wasn't even my credit card. Fell off a truck, what? Yeah, totally. It just fell off a truck. I picked up the parcel. Inside was a game. Hey, what can you do? They never came back for it.
You avoid the cost of war, but you also have allies who will protect you in the event of an invasion. Should a treaty be broken by you, though, you'll potentially antagonize several factions.
I'm sorry, but I thought I left diplomacy behind with civilization. I hate diplomacy. I want to make army, smash opponent base. Simple and effective. Would you come with diplomacy and allies and reinforcements like this and this and that? All my brain thinks is confused unga bunga. South Africans never beating the allegations. How's your coppers doing, Melto? You would want me to send some of my friends over, would you?
All at once. However, note that being diplomatic won't always be advantageous. Instead, it will depend on the faction you've chosen. If you're an exile of Khorne, then opting to engage in war more frequently will yield better results in terms of growing your forces.
Okay.
After performing all the activities during your turn, you'll need to press the hourglass and...
I also own the Ultimate Collection? I mean, based, but how did you not know this? I like them where they are, thank you very much. Okay. I'll let them stay there for now.
Need to do theirs. Additionally, you'll need to address events that happen around the world. In one Grand Cathay campaign, for example, I had to choose what to do with a box of delights presented by an alchemist. I could either increase the yin or yang, slay the alchemist, or simply continue on with my life, where I chose the latter. There are a lot of these events which will pop up randomly, so it'll be up to you to make the right decisions. In connection with settlement management...
I don't like RNG like that. If something just random comes up and it's not clear whether or not it's the right choice or not, and I just pick one random, choice just for the heck of it, and I get the short end of the stick, I don't like that. I hate diplomacy. Failed German art student. I am not beating the allegations, aren't I?
You can group armies together depending on the number of lords and heroes you have, and settlements or provinces you'll be conquering and managing along the way. What makes this so much fun is that Total War Warhammer 3's visuals are stunning, thereby encouraging you to
Okay, the visuals, I'll give them that. They look pretty cool, yeah? Nope. What you mean or nope?
explore the ends of the world. They're even thematic to the faction you've chosen, so for the Exiles of Khorne, you can expect to see darker colors and a somber environment raging with fire, hatred,
Map
and
does look
anger.
pretty good.
Whereas the
give them
Grand Cathays province depicts a rather
that. It does look a little bit, what's the word? Cartoony?
serene and well-lit atmosphere consisting of vast fields
You know,
of
something that's out of Clash of Clans, but yeah.
green. Regardless of the campaign mode you chose, you're going to be given a series of missions in the form of quests. Completing these will improve your relations with factions, possibly allowing you to form alliances. If you were to finish all of the quests listed under victory conditions, then you'll win the campaign. This is a bit different for Mortal Empires, though, where you can choose
Every
the specific
game looks like a
condition you intend
cartoon
to
now,
complete,
Dedge.
whether
It's either looks like a cartoon or it looks like visual diarrhea. It's like just colors splattered everywhere. I hate it. Back in my day, games were gray, black, browns, greens, and reds, and we loved it. And I'm not talking about the piss filter that some games had where everything was like a shade of green or yellow. No. I'm talking everything was dark, it was gritty, and the gunplay was awesome, okay? We didn't have any obese they-thems running around. We didn't have My Little Pony color schemes on all the guns. At most, it was a slightly different shade of gray, and we were happy with that. Call of Duty looked like Call of Duty. It was serious, not just a Fortnite knockoff.
it's the short, long, or domination campaign victory.
I want Gears of War again. Apparently they're going to remaster the first game, which just reeks of creative bankruptcy to me. We've been waiting for, what was it, Gears 6 or something? I think 5 was the last one, right? Either way, we've been waiting for a new Gears game. For how many years? And they're like, yeah, you can have the old one again. How many of you guys have been waiting for a good Halo game? There hasn't been a good Halo game in a while. But hey, the co-op was balling the first... Oh, dude, it was so good. I remember playing Gears of War in co-op. I played with my older brother as well. We went over to his house, booted up the old Xbox One, popped in the 360 and the Xbox releases of all the games, and we had a damn good time.
Doing so will involve destroying factions, invading and controlling settlements,
There's
even
coming out
sacking
E-Day,
numerous
but it's
provinces.
Oh, dude, it's a prequel. I mean, prequels aren't that bad, but like, you know, we want something a little bit more exciting than that.
But again, the choice is entirely up to you. For those of you who are interested in dipping their toes into the RTS genre or are fans of the Warhammer Fantasy universe,
75% off and he's still paying $100.
I encourage you to give Total War Warhammer 3 a try. There is currently a free trial weekend running from March 9th through the 13th, and this would be the perfect time to try out the title with zero commitment, because the base game alone should provide you with dozens of hours of content. And for veterans of Total War Warhammer 1 and 2, there's also a treat for you. If you wish to play Total War Warhammer 3 for longer periods of time, you can purchase it at a 33% discount from March 9th until March 23rd on the Steam store.
$40.
Final thoughts. Total War Warhammer 3 provides the ultimate experience for Warhammer Fantasy and RTS newcomers and tabletop fans alike. From commanding multiple armies to maintaining control over the provinces you govern,
It just feels like a war sim rather than an RTS game.
it's nearly impossible to run out of things to do in this nuanced game.
$500 to $400.
Although there are a few bugs such as
big
stutters and rare
savers.
crashes when certain choices are made in events, these aren't deal breakers in my opinion given Warhammer 3's strengths. Battles which take time to understand and master are incredibly immersive, and players are given the freedom to make important decisions that can rapidly
But what is this gameplay? This looks so bland, guys. Is it just me? It feels more like you're watching a simulation than actually playing the game.
affect their factions.
I'm sorry, if your cursor is just sitting here in the screen for like 30 seconds, or even minutes at a time, something's wrong. Maybe I'm just too used to fast-paced RTS. Maybe? I don't know.
Certainly a lot of thought has been placed into
The art style's pretty good, though, I'll give it that. All this looks pretty cool.
creating a game which closely mimics the brutality and nature
If you're sitting for 5 minutes watching an army fight, snooze fest.
of the Warhammer universe. If you want to get into the Total War Warhammer series, then Warhammer 3 is a great game to pick up because of its beginner-friendly tutorials and streamlined gameplay mechanics.
Streamlined is a bold word to use.
Be sure to use our links below to support the channel.
I enjoy stuff like Europa, so this is a good in-between from RTS and Grand Battle Strategy games. Hey man, as long as you enjoy it, that's fine by me. It's not personally my kind of game, but I understand there's a lot of people who appreciate this. And for those of you who do, big thumbs up to you guys.
If you plan to pick it up. So what are your guys' thoughts on Total War Warhammer 3? Do you guys like this sort of game? Do you like this gameplay? I got to
No. But it does look cool. I'll give you that.
stream this on Twitch a few months back. Really enjoyed my time with this game. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below.
Alright, clappies. Like. Good review, good review. Understandable. I'm actually not into Total War games, but watching people play it has been interesting. I see. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Let me link you guys the video.